Hi friends, it's Megan Elizabeth from ByMeganElizabeth.com, founder and creator of the She Makes Club, and I am here today to do another SolaWood flower video and show you how to start to finish the Juniper Centerpiece craft kit from SolaWood Flowers. This is a complete kit. You actually get to pick the color dye of SolaWood that you want to be using. You get the SolaWood Softener, you get a bag of amazing skinless or naked SolaWood flowers. You get the craft foam, the box, and the fill. And I am using the colors periwinkle and raisin. I have a little bit of water in each of these red cups, red Solo cups, just basic plastic cups, nothing fancy. And there's a little water in there, and then I pour in the paint and a few drops of the SolaWood Softener, and I always use some type of matte to dye on. Now when I pull the flowers out of this kit, you'll notice there's essentially 3 of each of the different sizes and types of flowers. So I'm kind of separating them out into 3 piles that each one has basically one of each flower in a set. So I'm going to do one of each in this color raisin, and I'm just dipping it in till it's all completely saturated and then pulling it right out. I'm not leaving it sit in there or soak. I'm just kind of stirring it around and making sure that it's completely covered. And then while it's wet, this is when I start to fluff it, and I kind of pull the petals apart if they need to, or even squish them together. It's the great perfect time to shape the flower the way that you want it to look in your design and in your bouquet. And this raisin is just beautiful. I really love the richness of this color and the way it just pops out against that juniper berry. It really just turns out amazing in my opinion. So I'm really pleased with this color combination of periwinkle and raisin for this particular design. And the SolaWood Softener, I'll just mention as I'm doing the next color, periwinkle, is really important for your flowers, especially the dyed ones. It really keeps them from getting brittle or breaking or cracking or the paint from separating. It's just a really good thing that I highly recommend. You don't need very much. If for some reason you don't have the SolaWood Softener that SolaWood offers from SolaWoodFlowers.com, then I would definitely recommend using some like vegetable glycerin as well, so that again it'll keep it nice and soft, that even once they are completely dry, even if you were to kind of smush them, they'll kind of bounce back. They just become much more resilient that way. So it's really beneficial. And that softener is so great to be able to shape the flowers while they're still wet here too. So you dye them, and basically it'll take about 24 hours. I like to wait at least 24 hours for them to fully dry or to fully set. I always kind of place them on the mat facing up, and then in like an hour or 2, I'll come in and I'll flip them all upside down. And that way that it'll just kind of complete the drying. It'll keep anything from settling or puddling. And lesson learned, definitely keep the colors at least 2 to 3 inches apart. I've already had bleeding happen from one color into the other because, you know, as it dries, some of it drips and then it can run. So you definitely want to make sure you're keeping your colors separated and kind of clean up as you go, just so you don't have any of that bleeding of colors together. Although sometimes creating the bleeding or double dipping really creates a very fun extra dimensional look as well. So this is the next day. Everything's all pretty much dried up. You can see now they really are very squishable and moldable. And I just decided to leave, you know, one set in the natural color. I did one set in that periwinkle and one set in raisin. And now I'm going to take the Juniper Centerpiece box and the foam that it comes with, but the foam is actually bigger than the box is. So I'm just using a ruler, a metal ruler actually, and I'm just slicing it down to size. And I'll be able to use the additional foam pieces for upcoming projects that you'll be able to see over at ByMeganElizabeth.com, on the YouTube channel, or on Facebook. So I always just start by placing some hot glue. And oh, by the way, yes, the craft kits do come with hot glue. You just need to provide your own hot glue gun. And they do come with all of the bamboo sticks. I already have these cut down from a previous project that I did. So I'm just going to use them because I know I don't need them to be that full size. And I'm going to pull all of my juniper berries out. And I always, 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 when I'm doing these types of arrangements or bouquets, I always do the four corners with some filler first. It just, I don't know, it's like how my brain works to create an even design distribution. So it's what I always like to do. And I like to glue it directly to the sides of the box just because that's how I like to start. And then I decide what flower I want to be sort of the center. And right now what I'm doing is I'm taking some hot glue, doing a little dot on the bottom of each flower, and then I'm just twisting the wooden bamboo stick right into the bottom. Okay, and it twists in really very easily, very simple. You don't have to poke all the way through the flower. That one you can kind of see I did a tiny little bit extra poke that it needed, but you just want to get it in that it's sturdy, it's stable, it's secure, and that hot glue also helps to keep it extra secure too. So it's really very simple. So you just place each and every one, just kind of twisting it in like a little shish kebab. It's very simple. And then you can alter the height and the sizes of each of those bamboo sticks as you go too. And actually you can see a little bit of that bleed through on that one. So I had it sitting a little too close. So some of the raisin ended up on that periwinkle, but it's okay. So, and you can also push the stems in, maybe some directly in the center and some kind of off on the side, and that'll create a little bit of that more natural tilt to the flower too, instead of having everything so rigid, stiff, straight up and down. And I like to do that, especially in the smaller flowers. I know that they're going to go kind of along the bottom edges, and having that little bit of bend in there just by the angle that it's put on the stick helps a lot. So I kind of then take all the flowers and I kind of put them in my own little bouquet arrangement and just kind of see, okay, I want this to look kind of even. I want the three colors to be distributed really well. And I decide, okay, which is going to be like my center focus flower point, and then build around from there. And I always leave that center one, taller than the ones that I'm building around from. And because there are three of each of these different flowers and sizes in the designs, it really does balance very well with the rule of three. And then I'm actually literally gluing some of the filler pieces to the petals of these upper flowers, just because I know I really wanted it to like be in there and placed well. And then I just keep working my way around the entire arrangement. I kind of keep turning it as I go. You can see like those are three of the same flowers, and I put them all side by side. I just kind of liked the way that looked. So then the next set, I'm kind of switching. I'm putting on one, the blue one on one side and the white on the other, and then the pink goes all the way on the other. So you can kind of see how I just start building this out and adding that filler as I go to hide the bamboo and create a more dynamic arrangement. Now, if you look at the arrangements on SolaWoodFlowers.com, you'll see that a lot of their designs are really settled way deep into the box. I like to use a little bit more height in my boxes, so I raise those sticks up higher. I don't cut them as short, and I really have them raised up from the box. I know some people don't like to do that because sometimes you do see more of the bamboo, but I like to just really spread out my filler and use that to hide more of the bamboo. And a lot of times when I'm not using a kit from start to finish, I will use some moss that I'll just pick up. You can buy it on Amazon or pick it up at Hobby Lobby or any of those types of craft stores or places. And I'll coat the entire bottom of the box, that it's really kind of coming out the bottom of the box, and the floral block, the foam block, and that way it hides even more and is another additional filler without having to use, some of the more expensive, like the juniper berries or the baby's breath. Some of that can be a little bit more costly. So to be more cost effective, I'll do that. And that's just a great additional filler as well. So you can see other videos like that at bymeganelizabeth.com. I also do videos on SolaWood Flowers inside She Makes Club, as well as on Facebook and YouTube. So it's just something that I've really, really enjoyed doing this last year. I've always enjoyed making paper flowers and doing different things with my Cricut. And this is just the best of every world that I love as far as my creativity, of ease, of customization, personalization. I like to a lot of times take my Cricut and on things like the wooden boxes or even tin containers, I'll make a inspirational quote or customized message or a family name or something along those lines to really elevate that. And then these flowers last forever. And because they're wood, they're also a really fantastic natural oil diffuser as well. So I love my doTERRA essential oils. You do want to be careful. Some oils have more of a natural color to them. So depending on the color or the dye of the flowers, you either want to drip a few drops of essential oil on the bottom of the flowers before you put it into the arrangement, or use those less colored scents, or make sure that the flowers that you dyed match the colors of the essential oil. So like blue tansy, you would want to use a blue flower for, or if you're doing a wild orange, you're going to want more of an orange or a brown color flower to scent those. You get the idea. And then I'm just using my scissors to kind of push in the remainder of the filler and just really making sure that this is balanced and set how I like it, that everything is secure. You can see there's a few places where the filler kind of came out, so I just go back in with a little bit of hot glue and we're pretty much finished. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and checking out these SolaWood flowers. Again, this is the Juniper Centerpiece Craft Kit from SolaWood. I'm actually gluing some of the berries back on. Yes, I did that. I hot glued some of the berries that fell off back onto the arrangement, but you know, however it works for you. These are just so great, and they always are offering such phenomenal discounts and sales. I do have an affiliate link for you that I'll leave in the description of this video and over at bymeganelizabeth.com that you can check out at any time to start creating your own lasting forever arrangements with SolaWood flowers. I would love to invite you over to She Makes Club to check out our exclusive Crafters Club. We have so much fun making together monthly. It's a great community to be able to process life, to make beautiful things that we love, and to tell our stories in a meaningful and purposeful way with scrapbooking and all kinds of DIY projects. So I hope to see you soon. Enjoy the moments, and visit us again at bymeganelizabeth.com.